All right, welcome back to another edition of Golf DMV, talking golf in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, and anywhere else we travel, like Pinehurst. Coming up in 2022, we've got Bandon Dunes. Lots to talk about. I mean, we'll talk a little bit of about the Olympics, right? We've got some courses we've got to review, too. Yeah. We've played some courses in the area. But first of all, everything's on hold because we've got a special star that we've got to highlight here on Golf DMV. DMV's own Bailey Davis, that's Waldorf, right. Maryland, North Point High School, runner-up over there at Columbia Country Club for the U.S. Women's Junior Amateur. Yeah. And I'm almost starstruck, to be honest with you, gentlemen. We've got Bailey Davis on the show. This is probably one of the biggest gets we've ever had here on Golf DMV.
No disrespect to Jim Thorpe.
Yeah, and Jim Thorpe, I mean, that's a big deal. You know what I mean? And I think Bailey would agree he's a big deal. You know what I mean? But she's going to get there.
She's up and coming.
Exactly. Who knows? And what we like to do is try to attach ourselves to people before they become famous.
That's right.
So then this way, when she becomes famous, she won't forget about the Golf DMV folks. Bailey, thank you so much for joining us on Golf DMV.
You're welcome. I'm so excited.
Oh, man, not as excited as we are, if you can't tell. Yeah. Oh, one quick thing, guys, by the way, brought to you in part by Cachet Spine Sports. If you need to get your back right, need to get your neck right, golf is a game where you've got to move. And that back's got to be right. And so you need to get that right. Check out Cachet Spine Sports, conveniently located right off New Hampshire Avenue in Silver Spring, right off the Capitol Beltway.
Right.
And you were there just recently, Lawrence. Yes. Exactly.
2 weeks ago.
Checking out Dr. Smith. So you can go to golfdmv.com. Her website is cachetspinesports.com. We prefer you go to golfdmv.com and then find her on our website just so we can get the clicks. And also shout out to our boy Lou Naylor from where'smymeeting.com. Listen, this variant of the COVID thing may shut things down again, and you're going to be doing things virtual.
Yes.
And even if you're in person and you've got these meetings, you're going to need a professional AV team. Mm-hmm. Don't set yourself up trying to do AV by yourself.
Right.
You don't know how to do it. You will look foolish.
Yes.
Hire a professional. Go to where'smymeeting.com. Talk to Lou Naylor. Tell him Golf DMV sent you. You'll be hearing from him a little bit in some subsequent podcast here on the show.
Charles County stand-up.
He's Charles County too?
No, Bailey.
Oh, Bailey. Okay.
No, not Lou. I'm sorry.
Enough about Lou. Enough about Cachet. We've got a special guest, folks.
Let's not keep her waiting.
Let's not keep her waiting. Bailey Davis, North Point High School. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to talk about all the great stuff coming up. You headed to the University of Tennessee. We want to talk a little bit about what it's like playing in all these junior tournaments. But I read that you started playing golf because your grandfather started teaching you the game at 6.
Yes, my grandfather lives in Pennsylvania, and so we go up to visit them every once in a while, but we went up and he took me over to the course. They live right across the street from a golf course, so I went over when I was about 6. He gave me a 3-wood, and he saw me hit 2 balls, and he said, wow, she's a pretty good swing for a 6-year-old. So then I started taking lessons, and he's been very supportive ever since. I mean, he's the reason I started golf, so...
Well, it's interesting because, he sees you, she's really good at 6 with this 3-wood. Let's get her in some lessons. It's easy for him to think that you're good because parents and grandparents think their kids and grandkids are good at everything. You know what I mean? Right. Like, if you were to pick up a microphone and start singing, they'd think you'd be Beyonce, you know what I mean, in 10 years. But when was it that you said, I think I'm good at this?
It actually took me a while because I didn't really like golf. To me, as a 9-year-old, it was just a sport for old people, a sport just not for me. Like, my friends made fun of me for it in elementary school. I didn't tell anybody I played. And then once I started playing bigger tournaments and meeting girls from all over the world, and seeing all the college coaches at the tournaments and then receiving stuff from the college coaches, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. I guess I'm pretty good,
And so when did you tune up? Like, okay, I'm taking these lessons, I'm playing, now I'm in these junior tournaments, but when it's like, okay, I'm going to dive deep into this.
I would say going into high school, I got really serious with it because that's when I saw the college coaches and saw the opportunities I had and realized I could actually really benefit from this and maybe benefit after college, but really pay for college and then see what happens after that.
Did you play any other sports growing up?
I did everything when I was really little, gymnastics, soccer, swimming, all that. But I played soccer, volleyball, and golf because my dad is a volleyball coach, so I was big into volleyball when I was younger. And then my parents told me when I was around 9 that I had to quit one, and I chose golf, and they said no.
Not that one. The other ones. Any of the other ones.
Too good.
So I quit soccer because my dad, he's around volleyball all the time, so I knew it would still be in my life. So
Right.
I stuck with volleyball and golf. I stopped playing volleyball junior year of high school because you risk injury, and I just wanted to focus on golf. And so ever since then, it's just been all golf. I play volleyball for fun every once in a while, but just mainly golf.
Are you as good at soccer and volleyball as you are as golf? I mean, obviously you pay more attention to it, but like, do you feel like if you paid as much attention to volleyball or soccer, you'd be just as good in those sports as you are in golf?
Right.
Soccer, I quit kind of early when I was young. Volleyball, I'm pretty good at volleyball. It's just that the difference is, once, like you said, I don't put as much time into it, but also the amount of girls that play volleyball and the amount of girls that play golf is so different.
Business
You know?
decision. I like
you
it.
go to a golf tournament and you know everybody there, and they're from all over the world. You go to a volleyball tournament and they're complete strangers to you. There's so many girls.
Right.
Yeah. You know
Yeah,
what else
so
is
there's-
different about golf and volleyball? The amount of money you can make, Bailey. The money. We wake up and we do this for revenue. This is what we live. The money. That's what I'm talking about. But no, that's smart. I mean, because the amount of women competing in volleyball is more than golf, and so and if you're really, really good, there's a smaller pool. That makes a whole lot of sense. So you're in high school. Does North Point have a girls golf team, or you were just doing the solo tour thing?
It's co-ed, but I'm the only girl, so.
Oh.
How mad are those boys when you be beating them around the course? How mad do they get?
I don't think they were mad because they all knew me, so they pretty much expected it. So,
Like, oh God, here comes Bailey.
They know the L is coming.
they did have an issue with me playing from the Reds, though, because I played from the ladies' tees, and they have to play back, but I hit the ball just as far,
Sure you
even
did.
further than them.
Right.
So they did have an issue with that, but they got over it.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean,
Be better.
Oh well,
Get
yeah,
in the gym.
yeah. Get your weight up, like
I
hit the
don't-
ball
I wanna
further
hear
if you mad
I
at
wanna hear
Bailey.
complaining. Yeah, out of here.
And so let's move forward to the U.S. Junior women's amateur, the women's U.S. Junior at Columbia
Right.
this past summer in 2021.
This was your third time playing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you made big news. So first of all, take us through what it was like, in that tournament again, the third one, and then when you're like, whoa, I'm in the final now.
So going into the tournament, my goal was just to make the cut because I played in 2017 and I played in 2019, and I didn't make the cut in either one of those. So I figured, let's just make the cut, see what happens.
Right.
So then I made the cut, and then I made the cut as a number 3 seed. So it was 9 under, 6 under, and then I was even par as the number 3 seed out of 64. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wait. So, okay, yeah, 64. All right. And what was the distance you guys played from? Because it wasn't like close.
I would say 6,200.
Like 62?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Wow.
I'm laughing because we always try and play around 6,000.
Yeah, we won't even.
That's our number.
If I see 62 and 58.5, I'm going 58.5,
Yes, because we're trash.
and I'm still going to shoot 97. I'm sorry, Bailey. Go ahead. You're
That's okay.
professional. You're good at this. I'm not. Just go ahead.
It's okay. So after I made the cut, the round of 64, I'd say that was probably my toughest match. I played a girl, and I think she's from Indiana, and I was never up the entire match. She was either one up or we were tied. And then on 18, it was tied. And so I had about an 8-foot downhill putt for par to continue the match to tie. And it stopped right on the edge and then fell in. The entire crowd was crazy. It was so exciting.
Oh, man. That must
So
have felt
then
awesome.
we go to the first hole again, so you got to play 19 holes. She hits her ball in the bunker. I hit mine in the fairway. The next one, she completely flies the green. So I'm like, there's no way she's making par from back there. I just have to get it on the green, and I'm good. Just make par.
Right.
And then it went in the hole for eagle.
Oh.
That was pretty cool.
Talk about clutch.
We'll talk about driving the knife in, too. If you're the other competitor where it's like, I have a chance, and then it's just...
Like, no, you don't.
That's like some stuff.
Yeah, I
stuff
just
right
had to
there.
make par, and I just made it a little extra dramatic.
There you go.
Congratulations.
And then after that, I was just playing my game. I was just making pars. At Columbia, you just make pars and you're good. Like, just let the other opponent make bogeys and you're fine. Mm-hmm. And so going through each match, I was like, okay, round of 32 is pretty cool. Then it's, now I'm in the round of 16 and, round of 8's pretty nice. Mm-hmm. And then I get down to 4 and then next thing I know, I'm in the final match playing against the number one amateur in the world. Right. So going into that match, I knew I couldn't just make pars. I knew I had to bring my A game and make some birdies.
Right.
And I did, but just not enough. Right. I played amazing. Rose just played better. So.
Yeah, and that's interesting because I love hearing that mindset because Vern's a big mindset competitor type, where he likes to dive into that because you're in the final and you're excited, but then you've got to play Rose and her reputation precedes her. You know what she's about. What is the mindset going? I mean, you talked a little bit about it there that I've got to be aggressive.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty much my mindset. I knew in the other matches, I said, just play your game, stay steady. Par golf is going to win. But playing against her, because she shot 62. Mm-hmm. She shot 8 under one of the days in the tournament. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, par golf is not going to And I've seen her play. I've played against her many times. She's the sweetest, most humble person ever. She's amazing. Mm-hmm. But I knew I would have to bring my A game. And I made some clutch birdie putts. I could have made some more. She just made more birdies than I did. And hats off to her. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm. That's the name of the game. Yeah, got to make those birdies. And so now we're headed to University of Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Going to be a volunteer. Yeah, I think LB had a few questions about the whole. Yeah.
I'm curious about all of that process. I mean, when did the offers start coming in? How many offers did you get? How many schools did you visit? And how did you eliminate those down to University of Tennessee?
Yeah, take us through the selection process.
It was a long process for me. It pretty much started in, I would say, the 7th or 8th grade. I started receiving. I would get questionnaires in the mail and through email because they can't show interest at that age. They can't say, hey, we want to talk to you, but like a personal email. So they would send me questionnaires, so then I would know that they're interested. So then I would fill them out. I would email them, and at that time, they could talk to me on the phone as long as I called them. So they couldn't text me. Okay. I could text them, but they could not text me. I could email them. They could not email me. So I could call them. If they missed my call, they couldn't call back. I would just have to keep calling until they picked up. Oh. So I had talked to a bunch of schools: Miami, Clemson, Ohio State, Kentucky, Louisville.
They came after you, girl. They came after you.
There were a lot. And so I took a bunch of unofficial visits. The coaches were able to take me around the campus, show me the facilities, the schools, all of that. I got to meet some of the teams. And then they made a rule. I think it was the end of my freshman year, I think. Okay. I don't remember the exact time, but that we could not talk to the coaches anymore on the phone until June 15th of the end of our sophomore year, the very end of our sophomore year.
Okay.
So I had to go to schools on my own without the coaches at this point and just kind of see it on my own. I couldn't go into their athletic facilities because I would have to be with the coaches for that. So that was a little more difficult. But then June 15th came around. I got a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails. It was a very overwhelming day. And I decided on my 5 official visits maybe a month later, I decided on my 5 official visits. It was Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisville, Kentucky, and Ohio State. And then I was going to do an unofficial to Virginia Tech.
Okay.
So I had gone to all of those schools except for Tennessee and Arkansas. I had gone to all those schools already. So Tennessee was my first official visit. And everyone told me, when you go to that school, you'll just know it's your school. And I had been to all these other schools. And I said, they're okay. They're nice, but it's not it. And then I went to Tennessee and I knew.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
The practice facilities, they just built it about 2 years ago. It's right on the Tennessee River. It is absolutely amazing. The whole driving range, they have about 3 putting and chipping greens, and then they have 3 practice holes that they go on. It's all to themselves. It's 5 minutes from campus. All their courses they play are 5 minutes from campus. The entire campus is absolutely gorgeous. Everyone there just made me feel like I was so welcome. I met the AD, I met all the nutrition people, the sports medicine trainer. Everyone was amazing to me. When I was with the team, I felt like I was already a part of the team. And so I just knew that was my school. And I committed the very beginning of my junior year.
Okay.
Wow.
As a program, how are they? Are they nationally ranked as a program? I don't know. But.
Yes, I think they're in the top 40 as of right now, but that'll be better this year.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Back in the day, I did some traveling around that area, and one thing I noticed about the University of Tennessee, that immediate area, is when there's an event there, the whole city shuts down. Especially at least with football, least football and basketball. So like the whole, because they don't have any
professional,
sports.
Well, tennis.
But that's in Nashville.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the University of Knoxville, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So the Knoxville area, it completely shuts down.
College sports.
It's a college town.
Gotcha.
So yeah. So
my coach did tell me that. She said everyone there is about Tennessee.
Yep. Yes, it is. 100%. Yep.
Okay. So we talk a lot on this show. We've talked to golf coaches and instructors about, coaching the kids up and what you can do to keep them in the sport. Because I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but we've heard a lot about overzealous parents who push kids out of, you name it, golf, basketball, academia, whatever. What did the good support, look like from your parents, from your grandfather, from everyone else to keep you engaged in golf and keep you from like, you know what, I hate they're pushing too hard. I hate this. I want out. Like what kept you locked in? Yeah. What did they do?
That was definitely a thought. My parents were pretty tough on me, especially my dad.
Okay.
I think internally, you kind of just have to want it. You kind of just have to look into the future and say, there's so many opportunities ahead for me. And you just got to stick with it. Because I have seen kids that get burnt out or kids that peak, and I think me as an individual, I've always just been so motivated to be the best at whatever I do. And so that's what has really kept me going. My parents pushed me when I was younger, but as I got older, like I said, going into high school, I think, because I didn't want to practice when I was younger,
right.
But going into high school, I want to go out to practice on my own now. Like they don't have to tell me to go practice. Like I do it on my own. Sometimes they tell me, oh, just take today off, whatever. And I'm like, no,
right.
I should probably go putt. And so I think
yeah, me too.
You kind of just have to... You kind of just have to stick it out when you're younger.
Right.
Some kids do really want it when they're younger. I didn't. I think my parents wanted it a lot more than I did when I was younger. But as I grew older, I saw the opportunities. I started to love the game a lot more, the competition, meeting so many girls from all over the world. And I just pushed myself a lot more at that point.
So it was internally motivated, which is pretty cool. But it does sound like if they're telling you, oh, you should take a day off or whatever. And I was asking that ahead of, everything that's going on right now with like Naomi Osaka, Simone Biles, everything else at the top of these professions. It just sounds like your family's supportive enough to where if you're like, hey man, I just, I need a day, I need a couple of days.
Get off my back. They'll get off your back if you need.
They would do it, but it sounds like, it's pretty much all from within.
Yeah, I think, and stuff like that, that's so important as well. Some people do get really burnt out.
Right.
And I think just taking a few days off every once in a while, I think that's the best idea because mentally it can be so draining, especially on the golf course. If you're not in the right mental state on the golf course, you're not going to play well.
Right. I'm sorry, Claudia.
Go right ahead.
I was going to ask, when you wrote, so as you were transitioning from like not taking it seriously to taking it seriously, what part of the game like comes easiest to you naturally? Because like I understand that golf is hard. I don't want to besmirch the golf gods, but inevitably when everyone's learning, there may be a part of the game that's just like, oh, this was the easiest thing for me to pick up.
I hit the ball really far.
There we go. My favorite.
You too? No.
I think that was always an advantage I had over the other girls, and so distance was never really an issue for me.
Must
like
be
I'm
nice.
at the women's am right now.
Right.
Our first round is tomorrow, and it's just about 6,500 yards.
Oh.
And it's very long for us, but for me, I mean,
Not so much.
it's still very long for me, but I know I have an advantage over everyone else because I do hit it far, and that's something that has always been an advantage.
So since you brought it up, I have to ask now, what is your average drive?
I'd say about 275.
Oh my goodness!
That's right.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
Shut it down.
Good night. So now where are you right now? What tournament is this?
This is the Women's AM, the USGA Women's AM.
Yeah.
Man.
I got into it because of how I did at the junior. I
Okay.
finished in the finals, so now I'm in the AM.
Okay.
And the smile on her face, she said, it's 65, so I have an advantage. I mean, her smile is so
I encourage everyone to watch this interview because she's beaming right now. She's ready. She's keyed up and ready to go for tomorrow.
Exactly.
Where's this tournament going to be played at?
We're in Rye, New York at Westchester Country Club.
Okay.
Nice.
And this course is tough. This course is no joke.
There, yeah. So you're going to Tennessee. What are the volunteers getting when they get Bailey Davis? When she steps on campus and bam, I'm here. What are they getting when they get you?
I think it's just I'm excited to be on the team because I feel like I bring a lot of positive energy. I have a very positive attitude, especially on the course. I never really get down on myself.
I don't know what that
because
is.
that's
Yeah. I don't know what it means to be positive during a round of golf.
That one shot.
Yeah, the one shot that I actually execute.
I think you get mad for 10 seconds, but I think staying upset with yourself and being frustrated the whole round, it does no purpose for you because it's just going to make you play worse. So
Right.
they're getting someone that is extremely hardworking. She's going to do her best to be the best, and she's always positive, or tries to be at least. I think I'm excited.
When you put down the clubs, like what do you do when you need to relax? When you just need to have some fun?
I hang out with my friends. I've lost a few friends over the past few years because golf just takes up my life, and so I can't, especially with COVID. Like, we didn't see them because of school, and so I can't hang out with that many people because
Right.
I'm always on the golf course, or I'm always traveling to a tournament or something like that. And so I have a very small friend group. I have about 3 strong friends
That's all
that
you need.
live near me.
Yeah.
And then I have, my golf friends that live all over the country. But I'll hang out with them when I'm not practicing. I still like to be active and do stuff outside, so I enjoy that as well.
Yeah, those friends that tipped out, those are bad friends and not smart. And they are gonna. And when they see Bailey Davis in the U.S. Women's Open, they're all gonna be blowing up here. Hey, I just wanted to see if we could, connect. Hey,
Want to go to the mall when you get back?
Sometimes they just fade out. Like, it's nothing bad.
No
It's
beef.
just
No beef. It's
we kinda
just
outgrow each other, you know.
You are positive. You're right, because we're trying to make you, vengeful and spiteful and want to. And she doesn't have that in her. She's not. She's too nice.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's good. Don't become what we want you to become. Stay smiling and stay positive. And now I feel like a jerk because we have you. It's not late, but it's 7:30. You've got a tournament going on tomorrow, and we've got you up on this radio show.
I don't tee off until 1:15, so I don't have to get up early.
Oh, good. So you're like me. So you get there at like 1:10, take a couple of swings, and then just head on
And then
out.
be good to go. Like I'm ready to go. I don't have any more questions. LB, Vern, you guys have any?
I do have a couple. Well, as you mentioned, I pulled it up. So it is going to be available to our listeners, to everybody, starting, it looks like I'm doing the Golf Channel. The round of 64 would be on Wednesday.
Okay.
From 2 to 5 p.m. So we can watch and actually cheer you on. So,
Yes.
If I make the cut.
No, well,
Gotta
no.
make the cut first.
We've already claimed
You're
that.
gonna make that cut.
Yeah.
You're gonna make that
Claim
cut.
Yeah. You're dunking eagle putts on people in playoff holes.
Yeah. I do have one final question. At the University of Tennessee, what are you going to major in?
Economics.
Economics.
Oh,
I
good.
wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, but my advisor told me, because I knew I wanted to do something in the business school probably. And so my advisor told me, if you go in undecided, it's going to be difficult to get into the business school. But if you go in already with your major and then you want to switch, then it's no problem.
Very good. Okay, makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah. So I have just one last question. So for all of us dads, I'm a girl dad. Claude has a young son. trying to get our kids into golf when they're young. Do you have any from the perspective of a young junior who just came through it? Do you have any advice, for us, like push them hard, maybe don't measure their interests, anything that you've seen coming up playing golf that we can take and use with our own kids?
I think it's important to push your kids, not to the point where they don't want to play anymore,
right?
But just enough. And I think it may be very difficult at first. There's going to be days where they're, I don't want to go practice, I don't want to do this, but you're going to have to, and that's how you get to be great. And so I think I would recommend to push your kids. There's going to be sports that they love and sports that they don't like as much. Maybe golf, because that was for me. But I think at that age, what's best for them and what has the most opportunity for them. I think golf has amazing opportunities, especially for African Americans. I strongly recommend at a young age to get them started with golf. I love to be that's one of the reasons I love playing in the U.S. Junior, and for girls able to see me, because they came up to me and they wanted my autograph and they said that I inspired them, and that's something I absolutely loved. And so I think, get them watching tournaments like this, the Women's AM, the U.S. Junior, tournaments where there's young girls playing and girls that, are out there smiling on the course and having fun. And that's what I was trying to do. And so I think if they see that, then they'll want to continue to play golf and they'll want to be like them, the ones that are on TV.
Yeah, she's right. Because I would go into Instagram and occasionally show, my daughter's only 5, so she can't watch full golf, but I would show her clips of Troy Mullins just hitting long drives and stuff. She was like, Daddy, she basically said she looks like me. She got the same hair and blah, blah, blah. And this. I was like, yeah. She's like, golf not just for boys. I was like, no, anybody can play. So, yeah. What you have, LB?
Yeah, and one of the last questions here, I saw that you and Megan are friends, that you all have, I think you had caddy for her or something.
Mega Ghana.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you all met through golf, obviously.
Yes.
How long have you all been friends?
I think we met 2 or 3 years ago at a tournament, and ever since then we just hit it off. We've been such good friends the past few years. I caddied for her because the Women's AM last year, they didn't have any qualifiers because of COVID, so they took in everybody all based on ranking, and so she got in, and it was at Woodmont. So I texted her, I was like, "Hey, you caddy? I live here,"
Nice.
And so I caddied for her last year at the Women's AM. So much fun. We've been best friends ever since. She's here this week. We played both of our practice rounds together yesterday and today. We're such good friends.
Very good. That's
nice.
good to hear.
I got a couple silly questions to close out this interview for you. So let's just see what's going on. When you travel all over the place and, DC has some things and the DMV has things that are specific to the DMV. Where do you find good mumbo sauce when you have to go somewhere and you got to eat? I know they don't have mumbo sauce there in New York. Or do you not even put mumbo sauce on anything?
No, that's not it's not something I'm familiar with.
No mumbo sauce.
I'm going to take that from you, too. You probably don't listen to Go-Go either, then.
Yeah,
Not really.
Okay, well that does it for the silly questions, ladies and gentlemen. Bailey, it's been a great pleasure. Keep the smile on your face. Keep shining bright. You're a star to us. Good luck tomorrow and in the future. And we'll try to stay close, unlike those friends. Because unlike them, when you get famous, we're going to be right there.
That's right.
To tag along and to shine under your bright sunshine. Thank you so much, Bailey. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Good luck in the tournament. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right,
everybody. Welcome back to Golf DMV. Listen, Bailey Davis. I mean, how delightful and pleasant is she?
Yeah. Yep.
Instantly a Golf DMV favorite.
Yes.
We are going to, try to support her in any way that we can, throughout her career. And hopefully tag along to be able to, reap some of the fruits of her labor.
Definitely more Southern M than D in the DMV, the mumbo sauce and stuff. But we don't put it past her.
Right.
We love our Charles County fam.
Of course we do. Right. Yeah, exactly. North Point High School. So, man, wow. Bailey Davis, super impressed. So we've got a lot to get to on the Golf DMV front. Of course, we want to talk a little bit about Willie Mack winning the APGA, the Billy Horschel, the new thing that he's got going on with them. We'll get to that. But first, Vern had a chance to play Maryland National. So Lawrence and I, got a chance to get out there to play before Vern had a chance to get out there.
Right.
And we just loved it.
Yep.
Oh, best public course we've played in this state, period, et cetera, et cetera. And we started to think that maybe we're overhyping it, that maybe we're doing a little too much. But I still felt secure in how great I thought Maryland National was, that no, I don't think we're overdoing it. It's all good.
Right.
Yeah.
Vern, you played it?
Yes.
Your thoughts?
It is the best course I played in Maryland.
There we go.
We had to work around to it. Myself
Okay.
and Glenn. When I say we, so we had 8 people out, I believe.
Yep.
Myself, Glenn, LB, Wendell, Louis. Or did Louis join us?
No, it was Troy and Aaron
Oh, Troy and Aaron
and Rick.
and Rick. So we had 7. Troy, Aaron,
Okay.
Rick. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Glenn was on our group. I think it was me, Glenn, LB, and someone else.
Was it?
Was it me? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
This
getting,
doesn't really matter. What did you think? What did you think about
I've
the
lost
course?
track.
yeah. Now I feel bad that I can't remember who I played golf with. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that doesn't matter. But no, the course. So Glenn and I both said, like, initially to the first few holes, like, "Hey, this is really great." But at first we were like, I don't know, because Claude texted us through, I think, maybe 6 or 7 holes.
I was really anxious because no one said anything. And so I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I know they're there playing now. Like, what's
Right.
How come no one's saying anything? But because I was the only one not there.
So he's like,
yeah,
you know,
talking to
greatest
each
thing
other.
we've ever heard. And Claude and Glenn and I are just kind of like, look, it's very nice.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. But we do that, you have that natural sort of contrarian thing. I don't know, I can't speak for Glenn, but I kind of have like, I don't know.
I'll see for myself.
I'll see for myself. However, when we made the turn and we came up to, I think, hole 11 it is, where you get like a
Yes.
view of the entire course. And so between there and 18, and then the drive to Union Market, where it's after round, I went to go get some sandwiches or whatever. I think I got there and I text Claude. Glenn and I text Claude separately. You know what? After thinking about it, it is the best course I played in Maryland. I can't
Sure.
put anything above it. The aerials are beautiful. It is challenging enough. It's more challenging. I was really trying to think like who could challenge it for public courses. I want to clear public courses. Who in Maryland could challenge it? And I think Whiskey is the closest.
Now, by the way, if there are any, private courses that
Yes.
would like us to come out
Right.
to compare,
evaluate.
just, go to golfdmv.com and contact us and we'll come out and we'll do it.
But so my thing was, what course can go hole for hole with this course? Because
Right.
I said I think multiple times that Maryland National has probably 8 to 10 holes that would be signature holes at anyone else's golf course, and it's got like 8 to 10 of them. And so I think Whiskey comes the closest in terms of going hole for hole. Like, oh, this one's beautiful, but it falls off. I think Maryland National just has more. And again, it's not
It falls
just
off on the challenging part too. I mean, Whiskey,
yeah. Maryland National is more challenging, and then the only other 2 that can get in there to try to mix it up are Worthington and Musket Ridge, but they just don't go enough. There are a couple of places in there where it kind of just turns into sort of a normal municipal, which is not I'm not taking shots at it. They're all beautiful
'cause they're
courses.
great courses,
They're all
right.
great, but Maryland National, man, just hole after hole after hole in great shape.
Yep.
I was on a tee box on like one of the par 3s on the back, maybe 16, 17, and I chunked it. I went to grab the sand to fill the divot, and I filled my divot. You fill your divot and someone else's. And I look around, they're all filled. All the divots are filled.
Golf is just respecting the game and respecting the course.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that. Fairways are beautiful. So I definitely, And so, after thinking about it, I was like, no, that is the best public course I've played in Maryland, hands down. And I'll just go back.
So when I had a lesson a week prior to us going out there with Brendan at Olney Golf Park, and I told him we were going back out to Maryland National. And he specifically told me, he said, I can't stand number 17. I could remember which one that was.
Right.
So 17 is a par 3 downhill with this like a dog leg green.
Yes. It's like a very narrow green. That's
Very narrow. And
horizontal.
it's shaped like shaped like a dog leg. And you can't stick it because it's so narrow that even if you hit it, it's going off the
There's
back.
no depth from front to back.
Exactly. That's when Brendan, he said, I can't stand that hole. They need to blow that up and start over. And I actually told the starter that after the round because he and I talked for a little bit.
Right.
So I hate, out of all the holes there in the course,
Right.
17 to 18 are my least favorite.
Right.
Because they have on the 18 on the right side, the entire right
There's no
side,
run.
there's nothing. I mean, even from the green, there's probably 4 feet, and then it's brush and woods. So if you miss it, you're done.
Yeah.
So those are only 2 holes I was trying to come up with something negative to say about
That's the
it,
best you could
and
do.
that's the best I can come up with. 17 and
There
18.
are 2 holes I don't like because they're tough to. Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Right. Yeah.
That's how it was with us. I mean, we were out there playing. I think we were right around maybe hole 4 or 5. And I looked at Aaron, who was with us, and I said, I think this might be the best course I've played. I said, it's early.
Right.
We've only played 4 or 5 holes. It's early, but this might be the best public course that I've played, period. And as we were playing, I mean, I think we were then on the back nine and said, yeah, it is.
Yes.
It just is. I mean, you know. And we don't throw those kind of terms around, you know, lightly. And we give courses a chance.
Definitely not LB.
Yeah, right. Right. And LB, I think you gave it an A, a rare LB A
Yes.
when we played it. So yeah, Maryland National, you know, and I mean, like I said, I think it gives you some challenging shot.
It does.
You gotta, but it's not too tough. It's not too hard.
No,
You know
there
what I
are
mean?
holes. It's fair. It's very. I don't know if this is an Arthur Hills thing. Where he'll give you, you know, a 295 yard, a couple par 4s. Where if you don't. Now, if you try to go ham, you can jam yourself, but
Right.
he give you a couple of easy scoring options. And then there's some holes where it's like, yeah, I've got this sharp dog leg, and you have to hit 2 golf shots. There's no bailout. There's no nothing. You need a good tee shot and a good second shot to make it. And I think that's fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's really beautiful. I did hear that they limit the memberships there. Which is because the membership is only like $5,000, I was told.
Okay.
But they only allow like 100 or so members, which could be the reason that it was in such great shape or whatever. Yeah. Because even when we were out there on a Saturday, wasn't that crowded.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys.
When we were leaving, and actually we were in the clubhouse, there was a group, and I apologize, I didn't get their name, but it was a group of couples. So
Right.
They have like a league. It's just husband and wives
Right.
that come out and play. And they at least seem to all be senior citizens. I could be wrong.
Right.
But they were, and when I got in the park, it had to be 20 or 30 couples.
Okay.
That
Oh, wow.
were coming out to the play. I gave them a card. So if you are listening, please hit us back with the name of your organization, and maybe we all can talk.
Yeah, have
It
them
was
on the
a
show.
pretty cool idea. They all had the matching shirts and everything.
They go out
The
and
couples
compete.
had the matching
couples
shirts.
did.
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Go
it's
out
like
and compete
pretty
against
cool.
each other. Yeah, beautiful course. I definitely recommend fully.
I wonder how many marriages golf put a strain on. If you're competing against other, well, most of them are probably out there saying we're just going to have a good time and hit some balls
Right,
and laugh
right.
and stuff. But if
But
there's that one
there's a few.
competitive
I'm sure
husband or
there-
that one
I'm sure
competitive
there's a
wife,
few.
and they kind of just like, don't you go screwing this up, Mildred?
Yeah.
And then, you know,
Or the one insecure husband who the wife is just better than him.
Right,
Just dusted
right.
him. Yeah, I don't want to play golf anymore. I'm going to play basketball.
right.
Whatever she's not playing is what he wants.
Yeah. She's carrying the load, and he's really insecure about it.
I'm going to lift weights now. That's what I'm going to do. I don't want you around me, Sheila.
Sweetheart, it's not about winning. I just want to have fun. And who cares about that? And he gets all mad because she's so good. So yes, I mean Maryland National definitely a golf DMV favorite. I don't know if there's anything else that happened from rounds that we had since the last time we spoke. I mean,
We played Blue Mash the other day.
Played Blue Mash the other day. Shout out to Vern who drove 7. Was it 7 that you drove, or was that 6?
It was 7. Yeah.
And almost drove 8.
Yeah,
drove
yeah,
7 and
yeah,
right on the
drove
hit.
7
I mean,
yeah.
hit the ball.
That was him and Glenn almost drove 8.
Well, Glenn was there. He was so few feet behind him. But, you know.
But Vern hit this. It was the same kind of shot you hit on 7,
Yeah.
where you hit it and I mean it's starting out
tight draw.
right and it's drawn
Yeah.
right. And I think actually on 7 you may have hit it a little bit past the green,
Yes,
or
it
it
did.
rolled
It did.
off on the
It
fringe.
landed on the green and rolled off the back.
Yeah.
And then on 8 the same thing,
Uphill.
But then uphill.
I got to give myself props.
And it was uphill, and it fell a little short.
Yeah.
But I mean, like that's the way you play those holes.
Yes, yeah.
And so shout out to you
Either
for
go
that.
after
man.
him or like LB did, because I think you made par on 8, I believe. Iron.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and Claude, you hit actually a dope recovery shot from there.
Yeah, so I drove it and it's in the trees, but not like enclosed in trees. I mean, Blue Mash it can
Right.
get open on that hole
Like
to
up
the
under
not
the-
on the
on the
left but
rough.
to the right.
Right,
Yeah, so I'm
right.
on the rough, and so I defeated the inner demons within me.
Yes.
And so I have this moment. This is my second shot. I'm probably 50 yards or so away from the hole.
Yep.
And so I get in my head. All I'm going to do is do a little easy 3/4 to 3/4 pitch shot with a pitching wedge.
Right. Mhm.
Something that I've done before on doing some short game work. I've done this before. Got the pitching wedge in my hand. Just three. Like maybe a quarter to 3/4 up. And you know exactly what it's going to do. 50, boom, it's going to roll up.
Right.
You've done this. Right. I get up to the ball and I think to myself, if you de-loft this 56-degree wedge and you hit a flop shot right over the sand trap, you can land it and stick it instead of it running up.
Yeah.
I've never even attempted this shot before in practice or I've never done this.
Not even in your dreams.
And for some reason, in my head, I'm trying to convince myself to do this.
As you say this, I'm just imagining now because we talk about the golf gods all the time. There must be like the Greek gods. There must be a golf god of I don't know, like a Temptress or something. But they just appear on your shoulder, whispering to you, "Hey, you drove the last two.
Right.
This is 295 to the over trouble. Yeah, just do it again." And then you do it, and you get a 7, and they're cackling in the back.
Right.
So you stop the demon.
And no, 100%. And so there's the Temptress golf god who's
Right.
Just take the 56 degree wedge, de-loft it a little bit, open it up, and come shallow through and sweep under it. You'll stop it right by the hole, tap in for birdie. Right. And I'm thinking to myself, and I can only imagine the other golf guys, like the golf guy who actually wants you to do good.
Yes.
He's like, please, son, don't try this.
Right. Don't listen to him.
Gosh, don't try this. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I've never done that before.
Right.
And then what I do the little,
The
quarter to quarter
half-shot
there
pitch,
with my pitching wedge, knock it close to the green. I've got like 6 feet for birdie. Of course, I missed the birdie.
Yeah.
And then and then knocking in for par.
Right.
And then the very next hole, the first thing that comes to my mouth at LB, I think was, man, I wish I would have made that birdie putt. What are you talking about? You made a par. Like, why are you you're not that good?
Right,
like,
right.
The victory was that you listened to yourself and you knew what you could do on that hole.
Yes.
You did it.
And you follow through.
You always miss putts, and so who cares that you missed the birdie putt? You made the par.
You just need to put yourself in position. Like the more of those 6-footers you get, you'll luck into a couple of them. Like we talked about, like Krupa said.
Right.
So just keep
Oh,
getting
you
the
said
pars.
that I will personally luck into some.
Well, no, all of them.
No, when I make those 6-footers, it's luck. We all know that. I've been putting a little better, but but it's basically And so we had fun at Blue Match, right?
Yep.
Always do.
Always.
Yeah, always have fun at Blue Match. So Willie Mack, nothing else as far as rounds, right? I can't think of anything else.
No, I don't think so.
Glenn
Yeah.
did say he's going to go see the golf doctor.
Yes, which is pretty good. Just a short story for those who don't know. We recommend the golf doctor to everybody. To LB, reluctantly he went and changed his mind.
Yep.
I think Glenn went to go see his pro, whoever he was getting lessons from, who he does like for the lessons, and did the whole fitting situation. And just really quickly. At the end, so he's Mizuno's that I gave him. He's like, cool, all this stuff is great. I think he tried Titleist, the shafts with different heads. He's like, can I try these in my heads? And the guy's like, nah. He's like, yeah, I'm a Titleist partner. I don't sell Mizuno's.
Yeah, we don't
and
do
that's
the
when he
Mizuno.
realized that there's a business part of it too for some of these other instructors and fitters where they're like affiliated with these brands. Whereas the golf doctor, he got everything.
Yep.
Now to Glenn's credit, to Glenn's the guy who did his fittings credit,
Yes.
he did tell Glenn, "Hey, I apologize. I probably should have told you this before
Yes.
I brought
And
you
did-
in that
and
I don't
didn't
do the
charge him.
Mizunos,
He did. Yep.
and didn't charge him
Yeah,
for it. So
exactly.
shout out to him,
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, for being a good pro. But yeah, so just do your homework before you go get fitted. If there's a specific head or set of types of shafts you want or something like that, just make sure whoever you're going to get fitted has
Yeah.
those, or just go see the golf doctor.
Go see the golf doctor.
he has
And I would also like to recommend John Ross from Golf Tech.
Absolutely.
You can also see him
I'm
in
gonna
Golf
go see
Bethesda.
him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Not for a fitting, for a lesson.
For a lesson. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
So, the golf doctor is getting some business from Golf DMV. And so,
Yeah, it was funny because he said when he told me that story. Yeah, I know. Yeah, when he told me that story, he said he was like, "Yeah, I got to book him." He said, "You think probably a couple weeks?" I was like, So I went on the website September 2nd. This was that was 2 weeks ago or a week ago.
That's the next fitting he has available.
I kept looking. It was like September 2nd. I was like, "Yeah." So he said, "Yeah, I'll just do it basically in the off season."
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yep.
That's a good way. Okay. So Willie Mack wins the APGA, this new Billy Horschel thing going on with the APGA. And for your APGA update, let's go to our update desk with Lawrence Brooks. And by update desk, I mean he's literally at the same table we are, but he's got the update.
We'll focus over here now.
Yeah.
okay, all right.
So Billy Horschel is working with the APGA and put together a tournament called the Billy Horschel APGA Tour Invitational. So basically, it was a 2-day event. He had all the APGA players come out. The purse was substantially more than it is on the APGA regular tour.
Yes.
I think it was an $80,000 total purse for the tournament. In first place in this 2-day format. Oh, I'm sorry. They played at the TPC Sawgrass.
Sawgrass, yep.
Is where they played. Willie Mack came in first with $25,000 for the win. Just a little bit. And Willie is going to attend the Korn Ferry Q School later this season. So hopefully he can do well that to get his.
That would be great.
Yeah, exactly. He can get on that
his
tour
tour
full
card.
time. The APGA, the Korn Ferry Tour. In second place came Troy Taylor, who's a senior at Michigan State. He finished second. And Marcus Bird finished third place. He's out of Nashville, Tennessee, and he is currently the APGA Tour points leader.
He is because he's been lighting it up. This year.
He won. I think he won at least one other. I think he won New Orleans, and he finished well in a couple of
I have
other
to reach out
tournaments
to him.
as
He
well.
wants to come on the show, talk about these wins, talk about these dubs. Yeah.
Next week their season finale is at the championship in Atlanta. I'm not sure which course they're playing, but that'll be the season finale for the APGA Tour.
All right.
Our friend Kamayo Johnson, I think he tied for fourth, if I remember correctly.
At this tournament, at the Billy Horschel.
Yeah, at the Billy Horschel tournament as well. But yeah, Billy is one of the people that's actually putting his time and energy behind the APGA Tour to help to try and get those guys.
So to grow the game for real.
Exactly.
Not just saying it.
Yeah, he's not just saying it.
Hashtagging.
He's actually putting his own money and interest behind it.
Yep.
To get these guys an opportunity because he believes that, at least according to the words that our article I read, Billy said, some of these guys, I mean, they deserve to be on the tour. They are good enough to be on the tour.
Right.
They just haven't had the opportunities.
Right.
So hopefully Willie can do well in Korn Ferry Tour and make the tournament and make it up to the big time in the next couple of seasons.
And by the way, hopefully Billy Horschel inspires other people in the golf industry, not just golfers, but just in the industry in general, to put some money and stuff into the APGA Tour and get
Support
some guys
these
together.
tournaments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? No, that's super dope. Yep. Let's see. So a big shout out, by the way, U.S. Senior Women's Open just took place. Annika Sorenstam, just picking up where she left off, dominating.
Right. I saw that today when I was eating dinner, and I was thinking, I thought it was taped or something. I wasn't sure if it was live or if it was something because the Olympics were going on. They were just throwing something on
golf chat. Yeah. No, it was straight up live. Yeah,
okay,
Oh, absolutely.
I saw the end of it, but I wasn't sure. Like I said, I wasn't sure it was real.
Yep, won by 8 strokes.
Right.
I mean, Annika dominated when she was in her prime, and now she's back on the Senior Women's Open.
She's minus 12, and I think another one was minus 4.
Yeah, the fourth round. I mean, because she was only going in with a 2-stroke lead, and then good lord, and also making news there. Legend Joanne Carner, 79 years old, played in the U.S. Women's Open, qualified for it, shot her age in round 1. At 79, she shot 79. People, okay. I mean, what do we do with that? All right. What do we
I just
do
thought about
with
something.
that?
Another reason I thought
And by the way, they were playing from 59-91. So she's playing. She's a 79-year-old played from the tees I would play from, and I would not shoot a 79. Okay, and she's 79.
Wow.
She's 79. Okay, so get out of here with all the disrespect with the women's game.
Yeah.
You can miss us with that.
Yeah. When I was watching today, one of the reasons I thought it may have been taped or something because I didn't see not one mask anywhere. No, seriously, I didn't, and that's what made me
They
think.
had crowds though.
In the crowd, oh yeah, they had crowds, and you know how when Tiger was winning the Masters, and everybody came in behind him.
Yeah.
Where the crowd had come in behind her, and she was walking up 18. I did not see not one mask in this anywhere.
Maybe Florida then.
So maybe that's what made me think it was taped,
Right.
Because I mean, usually somebody got on the mask nowadays. At least I didn't see not one.
The way things are going now, they're going to be back in.
We'll be back.
there pretty soon.
There ain't gonna be no crowds out there.
Jeez Louise. All right, so let's see. Anything else on the golf circuit? I think we covered everything. We got Maryland National. We got Willie.
Oh, we're gonna
Mack.
talk about Xander winning the gold.
Oh yeah, anybody watch any Olympics? I watched a little bit.
I watched a little bit yesterday.
Very little
before
bit.
I fell asleep.
So Xander wins gold. Roy Sabatini won silver.
Yeah.
He shot,
A name I hadn't heard in a long time. Yeah,
Right. He got on fire. I think he was 10 under on the final round. That's how he got up into the second place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about dude.
There was a tie for third.
Right.
5 players basically had to. They did a playoff. It was Rory, CT Pan,
Xander.
No, Xander had won. So it's like Rory, Colin Morikawa was in it.
Oh, this is for the bronze.
For the bronze.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
So they had a 5. It was like I think it was 5 players or so. I'm trying to find it real quick, but I can't.
Yeah, I don't know who was in the playoffs, but yeah, CT Pan ended up winning the bronze.
Yeah. I had it, but
That's interesting. That shows you how much I watched because I figured they would just do it like a regular golf tournament. It's like, cool, Xander won. Whoever was in second. I mean, I guess there can't be any ties though.
right. That's what it was. So
Right,
they
You got to
yeah.
play off.
So they did the tie for third, and so they ended up going through 4. I think it was 4 rounds to get the. I can't find it. It's not worth.
And
it.
apparently, the caddies don't get a medal.
They don't get a medal.
Isn't that wild? I would assume.
Really?
But shouldn't they? Because golf is a little different.
They did. I think it was Justin Rose. One of the players actually came out and said that they should. It was
Yeah.
either Rose
Yeah.
or Xander.
Should
They
get
basically said the caddies should get medals for what he said. they contribute as much to the success of the team and the golfer, unlike some of these other sports. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, I mean, you can be a diving coach for the, synchronized diving team, but you're not on the board with them doing stuff. Like, the caddy is literally with the golfer on the course.
Right. Yeah, and you're handing out medals. I mean, we got dodgeball. Look at all the Olympic sports we got.
Well, but that's true, though. But so, like in football, the trainers, everybody gets a ring.
Everybody gets one, yeah.
Stuff. But this is, I put in air quotes, the Olympics. So they consider themselves special. I found
I feel like I got cheated. So I got cheated out of a ring. So the Washington Capitals, when they won their championship, during that season, there were plenty of games where I filled in for the producer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so I felt like, I should get a Stanley Cup, get the ring.
Give me a ring.
Didn't get one.
Oh my God.
Did he get one?
Yeah, he got one.
Oh wow.
He was happy about it too. He's like, hey, check out my ring for this. Like, well, where it was like, well, my ring size is about 10 and a half. And he's like, no.
It's not for you.
They already got all the ones out that's coming out. I was like, wait, what? Like, my thing is, I don't expect them to know what I did.
Right.
But you know what I did. How come you didn't tell them?
Why can't you lobby for me? Yeah.
How come you anyway? Whatever.
Yeah, so just to follow up, the bronze medal playoff was C.T. Pan, Colin Morikawa, Mito Pereira.
Oh yeah, Mito Pereira. Yeah,
that guy.
Yeah,
Sebastian Munoz and Rory McIlroy were the players that was in the playoff.
Good for Colin. Still trying to stick it out and compete because having just won the Open, I just be like, I didn't get gold. Oh, cool, man.
Whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. This is the first U.S. gold in men's Olympics for the U.S. since 1900.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's been out of the Olympics.
Right.
Yeah, I was about to say because I don't remember them because it was
they did it for and they did it. They brought it back last Olympics.
Yeah, the last.
I don't even remember who won. No. But they brought it back last Olympics, and now it's back.
That's how important
it's back to stay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it. I'm sorry. Hideki Matsuyama was the other player. I missed him.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't watched any of the Olympics.
Doesn't
do
it.
Yeah.
Track. I like the track.
Yeah, I like the track too.
Swimming is pretty good.
But it's just maybe because
it's
it's on a different time zone too. I mean, it's like
18 hours, by the time you watch it, you already know pretty much what.
Right.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen like listings of such and such is going to run at this time. Here.
That part is true.
So I'm not going searching and sitting there waiting, and I just hell with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hideki Matsuyama, by the way, had he had medal, that would have been great for him to have on the Masters and then back and win a medal in Japan and with the golf. And so, yesterday, actually, speaking of Olympics, I was watching the women's hammer throw.
Okay.
And the shot put.
Yeah.
Man, you talk about some ladies with shoulders and necks,
powers
and backs.
Yeah.
Man,
you get them in the long drive.
Oh my gosh! I mean, they're putting up some weight, man. I don't know. You guys were going to play Rattlewood earlier today. Yeah. Today being Sunday, but rain or whatever. So it looks like
alleged rain.
Yeah, the forecast was a little bit off. Yeah. Glenn very aggressively said, "I got a tee time for Rattlewood next week. Who's in?"
Yeah,
and so he's booking stuff, and so maybe we'll have a Rattlewood update.
Yeah, and we're supposed to be at Laurel Hill next Saturday. Mm-hmm. I'm going to confirm that when the gentleman comes back. I think his name is Carmen. Okay. When he comes back, I think tomorrow. So if not, then we'll play somewhere local. But I'm just going to let you know right now, Laurel Hill or not, the next 2 rounds is Enterprise Oak Creek. I'm just telling you straight up. We coming to PG County. That's what it is. Home games.
And we'll have a PG County update coming up next week on the next episode of Golf DMV. Listen, follow this young lady, Bailey Davis, man. Yep. She's going to be a bright star. Really impressed by her. And we'll catch up, guys, next week.